Hey guys, JC Smith here from atop my work platform, and this couldn't be working better. I am right up by the trusses here. Easy to do. I'm capping in the tops of the headers so that we can insulate these later. Really happy that we've done this so far. Alright, so where we're at is I'm putting this OSB up on top of these headers, because what this is just a big open header, and I'll lose all my heat there. So what we're going to do is we're going to cap this, all the tops, with OSB all the way down. We will screw them down through here, and then we will come in the bottom and expandable foam all the cracks everywhere, all the way up through here. Okay, that way we can get it as airtight as we can. So that's going to work out really well. If you notice, I'm leaving a 3/4 inch lip here, and the reason for that is so we have something to stop our J channel on when I set it in here for the ceiling, so I don't have to worry about it doing this up and down the ceiling. It'll give me a nice straight edge to put it against, which will be flat, so when we put it in here and I put nails or screws through the J channel into here, I know it's exactly where it needs to be. Now, being that I'm here, when they built this, they use what's called barn spikes. These things are huge, and since I'm standing here, I'm going to add some screws. Some of them big screws I've got, I'll add 3 more to each post. I'm going to do that at every location, because that's what they have, is barn spikes. 2 here, 1 here. You know, ounce prevention is a pound of cure. This one will add 2 screws here and 1 here, and we'll keep going through. If I was building this myself, I would have drilled this and put carriage bolts through. Let me back that up. If I was building this myself, I would have cut a ledge in here and set these headers on top. I cut this out here, enough room for this header to sit right on top of that, so the load's sitting on top of it, not hanging off the side. But it is what it is, so that's what we're going to do. Alright, let's get at it. We got a couple hours in this today, probably 3 hours doing all this. So today we're able to finish the work platform up and get we're 1/3 done. Plus, we've been pulling all the garbage off the ceiling, like the old wiring. We've yanked a bunch of old wiring out that was not done right. We don't want it. You know, we're pulling all that out, taking out nails out of the ceiling, or out of the headers, and, you know, nails in the purlins that they had stuff hanging on as we go. So, you know, you're kind of cleaning things up, and it's a slow go. You know, here's a perfect example. This is 10-2 wiring, and it was up here, and it ran all the way across to the panel, and while it was over there, I started pulling some other wiring off. So, you know, it's slow and tedious. It's not like a brand new building where you come in and nothing's in your way and you just move right along. This takes longer. I just started putting blocks on the posts instead of doing legs, because I got pretty close with the forklift to where I was actually against the post, and I wasn't crooked. You know, I came right on. I was parallel, so I could just set it on a couple blocks. It made it a little bit easier instead of putting the jacks, you know, the legs in. It was you know, kind of difficult to get in there because of what's out here. Can't put it off any longer. I have to do some work. Okay, so you see it takes a little bit to get it maneuvered where I want it and just the way I want it, setting the way it is. I don't know if you can see in the camera, but I've got a 2x4 screwed to the wall there, and once I step on that, the platform will rest on there. You know, the tow motor's holding the weight, but I want the 2x4s to stop it from doing that stuff. Just makes it a little bit more comfortable to work in. I've got a lot of work to do in that corner. There's a door right there, it slides. There's a gap about that wide all the way around the door. The door wasn't built properly. All the weather tight, or what you can do for weather tight on a sliding door, they didn't do. The man that owned this place, he passed away. His wife was left here. She wanted to leave the farm and move into town. When he built the place, he was very, very budget minded. All the steel on this building came from a commercial building somewhere else. The only thing they bought was the 6x6s, the purlings, and the trusses. That's all. Everything else was used. All the hardware for the doors was used. The steel entry door was used. All the steel siding was used. So that's why you might see when I'm doing a video, you might see some sunlight coming through where it was screwed together before. To that man, it didn't matter because this was storage. He wasn't working in here. I just want to show you how we maneuver that thing around. It works pretty good. I mean, it takes me a little bit to do it in the tight corners, but it's working good. So let's get to work. Okay, so I'm up here, and you just cannot believe the difference in temperature up here. It's probably a good 15 degrees warmer up here than it is down there. Down there, I need a hoodie, a sweatshirt. Up here, it's hot. You know, my wife's not here today. She had to go out to the local butcher shop, or whatever you want to call it. We don't feed our dogs dog food. My wife makes dog food for them, and it is a chicken-based dog food with, let me think, rice, oatmeal, green beans, and a bunch of other stuff that the dogs need. They go through about 40 pounds of boneless breasted chicken in about, I think, 3 weeks. They're pretty good eaters. So she's off today doing that, so I'm here working and singing to myself. And in case you guys didn't know, I'm a very good singer. You know, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna give you a little sample right now. So how was that? That's probably the best rendition of Johnny Cash I've ever done. And Walk the Line is not an easy song to sing. That was pretty good. Did you guys hear it? Fellers, I like a tight fit. Probably what takes me so long to do things, you know. I could have made this loose and it probably would have went faster. But, you know, that's just how it is. We want things how we want them, and that's all there is to it. If it's in there, it's good. If it's in there tight, it's better. And, you know, I guess I never really explained this to anybody, but the biggest reason I needed this platform is it's not like I'm going to be up at this roof one time, okay? I'm going to be up here a lot, because the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to run braces in these trusses that were never put in. Watch this truss. That bottom rung's never been tied in front to back to stiffen it up. You know, I can't put anything on there until it's done correctly. But, you know, it takes time. This is why my projects take so long. You know, if I was building this thing new, well, I would do that at the same time. You know, when the steel siding was off here, I would have slid all my lumber in, 16-foot long lumber, grabbed, what would that be, 3 or 4 trusses, and on my way I'd go. I got a quote back for my steel, and they told me it'd take them 2 days to do it. I just have to give them my exact measurements, which we'll be working on that. I figure I'll get all my framing done first, get everything squared away. I've been at this most of the day myself. My wife has been busy with some other stuff, and where I left off, or where I started today, was over here and capping off the headers, adding these 2x8s across here. These 2x8s are not for weight, okay? All I'm doing, there is I haven't decided when I do the walls if I'm going to lay my steel siding on top of that or if I'm going to bookshelf the walls. And what I mean by bookshelf the walls is taking a 2x6 in this way, okay, and screwing it into the post and then putting my steel siding flat against this versus putting purlings on top and running the steel on top. If I run it on top, then when I get to the top of that, it would be, you know, obviously sitting on top of that 2x8 up there. If I decide to bookshelf it and run R30 insulation in the walls, which is what I've been thinking about, then I will wrap that in trim coil. I'll take aluminum trim coil on my brake, I'll bend it, I'll put a hem at the top and slide it underneath the J channel that the steel siding's going in. I'll bring it down, I'll cut a 90, and then I'll come down, make like a Z, and that way it'll receive the steel siding real nice. Alright, so here's where we're at with the door. That big door, it's, you know, there's really no good way to seal it. So what I did is take some thick plastic. I don't remember how many mil that was. I bought the thicker plastic, hopefully it'll last. And I button capped it all the way around, and then I put OSB over top of that. Now I have to move that cabinet to finish it off. Hopefully I'm going to finish this header and over top of here, those two real quick, and then I'll move it again. But the platform's working out well. Very easy. Maneuvering's the hardest part. Other than that, it's working out pretty good. So we'll show you where we're at the end of the day. Okay, so it's the end of the day. It's about 5 o'clock now, and I got some stuff I got to go do, so I'm going to cut it early. I've been out here for the most of the part by myself today. But, you know, I made it around the corner, and I got all that capped off and, you know, pulled some more crap wiring out, got all that stuff out of there, and cut all my headers and got them in place, so on and so forth, you know, all that kind of stuff. So it's coming along, and tomorrow I hope to finish up capping this side off and these. This should go a little bit faster tomorrow because there's a lot less stuff to work around over here, which will make this easier. It did take me a while to get the platform set up in here. Every time I started over here this morning, and doing that plastic around that door took quite a while, and I'm telling you, that made a huge difference in here today. So that'll help, and like I said, tomorrow we'll be onto this stuff. It's very slow going. You know, I moved my temporary lights down on the bottom of these headers so that I still have lights in here and we can still continue to work on the ceiling. So it's not a lot of light, but better than nothing for now until I get the ceiling in. So we'll keep going. Hey, look who just peeked in the door. Alright guys, we'll catch you on the next one. Let's go have some dinner. You want dinner?
Yeah, I have to make it first.
You like dinner?
Oh yeah.
What's your favorite meal?
I don't know.
Dinner.
Yeah.
All of them?
Probably fried chicken, mashed potatoes.
Fried chicken.
Do you like meatloaf?
I like meatloaf. Yeah, so you're happy up there?
I'm not happy, but I'm not afraid. Like normally I'm really afraid, but it's not bad.
Let's get out of here.
If you like what we're doing, give us a thumbs up. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and leave your comments below, please.
Oh, please. Isn't that nice? See, that's why you should do it, not me. Let's go. Adios.